ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत नः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनं श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ Dear friends, in the last class we were seeing the 22nd shloka, that is Upadrashtanumanta Bharta Bhokta Maheshwarah Paramatmeti Chapyuktah Dehesmin Purusha Paraha. So this is in the earlier shloka we saw about Prakriti and Purusha. Prakriti Purusha Prakristhohi Bhunkte Prakriti Jan Gunan, that we saw, where we saw the samsaritvam of Purusha. Why this Purusha is becoming a samsari. So the same thing is being explained here in this particular shloka. In the last class we read the shloka, I explained the shloka also. We were somewhere in the middle of the Bhashyam. So there the situation, the picture here is Atma is something in reality. Atma in reality is not a karta, not a bhokta or anything. It is in no way connected with the body-mind complex. But then it is looking as though it is the say Anumanta, it is the it is the Bharta, it is the Bhokta. Different degrees of involvement are seen for that Atma in this particular body-mind complex. So that is being explained here. Upadrashta, something which is it is a sakshi. It is just a mere spectator, say witnessing all the activities. The Anumanta is somebody is slightly more deeper involvement. Then Bharta, slightly more deeper involvement. Bhokta, and also experiencer. So there is greater involvement. So with all these different degrees of engagement or different degrees of involvement with the body-mind complex, it is appearing as so many things in the body. But all said and done, its real Swarupa, its Nija Swarupa is Chaitanyam only, and all this is an appearance. In the Nija Swarupa, the say Upadrashta, Anumanta, etc., the Nija Swarupa is Chaitanyam. But then all these are mere appearances of that Chaitanyam with the body-mind complex. So then we were seeing this line, Athava Deha Chakshurmano Buddhyatmano Drashtaraha. So I think we read this line in the last class. This was the last line we read. Deha Chakshurmano Buddhyatmano Drashtaraha Tesham Bahyo Drashta Deha. So he is talking about Deha, Manas, Buddhi, Chakshu, Manas, Buddhi. These are all Atmanaha. Atmanaha means these are all considered as our own self. Somebody considers Deha as the self. Somebody considers the Indriya. Chakshu means it refers to all other Indriyas. Indriyas as the self. Somebody considers the mind as the self. Somebody considers Buddhi as the self. So these are different degrees. So all these things are Atmanaha from the point of view of several people, not from our point of view. From the point of view of several others, all these things are Atmanaha. These are all taken as the self. So out of these, the outermost is the body, isn't it? For example, we have heard about these Pancha Koshas. This Annamaya Kosha, the physical body with flesh and blood. The in a slightly say inside in the sense slightly subtle is the Pranamaya Kosha. That is this prana system in the body which energizes the body. Then slightly say more intelligent or more subtle than that is the mind and say Indriyas. The slightly more interior is that Vijnanamaya, where that I notion, the notion of I-ness comes. So like that it goes on and on, deeper and deeper. So the same thing is we can see here. So Tesham Bahyo Drashta Deha. The external most, the outermost is that Deha. Tataha Arabhya. Tataha Arabhya means starting from there. Innermost Antara Tamascha Pratyak Samipaha Atma Drashta. The innermost is that self, innermost is that pure consciousness. So that is what in the last class I also told one line from Vidyaranya. Vidyaranya talks about Guha. What is that Guha? Buddhi Guha. In that buddhi guha, Atman is supposed to be there. Why is that called buddhi guha? That is supposed to be the innermost dehadabhyantara pranaha, pranadabhyantara manaha. That is, prana is interior with reference to deha. Pranadabhyantara manaha. Mana is said to be more subtle than this prana. Tatah karta tato bhokta guhaseyam parampara. Then there is a karta, there is a bhokta. In that manner, that guha is explained. Guha is, that is how it is called a guha, buddhi guha. So like that, these are all different levels when you go from outermost to the innermost. The innermost is that Atma, which is the illuminer of the whole body-mind complex. Atma drashta, yatah paraha antaraha. Did we read this? No. Yatah paraha antaraha, nasti drashta, saha atishaya samipyena, drashtrutvād upadrashta syāt. Okay, upadrashta syāt. Okay, yatah paraha, beyond which, yatah paraha, antaraha nasti drashta. There is no other drashta inside. There is no other drashta more subtle than that. There is no other, agency which we can think of. Chaitanyam is the only agency which we can think of. That is the maximum, that is the only place we can go. And that Chaitanyam is, all other things are Chaitanya Abhasa. They are all appearances in that Chaitanya. So, yatah paraha antaraha nasti drashta saha atishaya samipyena. So that is their closest. Atishaya samipyam is closest. Atishaya samipyena drashtrutvad, and also it is there, atishaya samipya, and also it is not getting involved. It is mere sakshi, in the sense that sakshi again, drashta, we should not imagine or we should not visualize any activity like drashtrutvam. I also told in the last class, we should not think that this is something sitting on our shoulder, and then somebody watching all the good deeds, somebody watching all the bad deeds. We should not imagine, visualize like that. It is drashta, means it is only enabling all the functions of this body-mind complex by, avachinna chaitanyam, as we call it. This chaitanya is manifesting as this. So that is why it is called drashta. Drashtutvad upadrashta syat. Then yajñopadrashtrutva sarva vishayikaranad upadrashta. Okay. Otherwise, if you want to say in other words, yajña upadrashtruvadva. Yajñopadrashta we saw about Rutvig Yajamana Vyapara Gunadoshanam Ikshita. So somebody who is just sitting outside, sitting totally unaffected, unconnected with all that activity, and then he is merely watching. So all our deha, what is this? Dehendriyadayaha. Where is that word? Yajna Vidya Kusalaha. Okay, so Karyakarananam Savyaparana. All these Karyakarana Sanghata, they are like this Rutvik, Yajamana, etc., etc. They are all the Rutviks. All these five, Indriyas, they are like Rutviks. Our mind and Buddhi, they are like the Yajamanas. So somewhat we can visualize like that. So, but then this drashta is somebody who is unconnected with all these things. Yajna upadrashtruvadva. Upadrashtruvad means upadrashta. What? Upadrashta is witness. Upadrashtruvadva. Sarva vishayikaranat upadrashta. Sarva vishayikaranat means he is the one who is objectifying all those things. He is the one who is able to see all those things. So that is why it is called upadrashta. Then anumantacha, anumodanam, anumananam, kurvatsu tat kriyasu, paritoshaha, tat karta anumantacha. Athava, anumanta, karyakarana pravrittishu, swayam apravrittopi, pravrittaiva, tad anukulo vibhavyate, tena anumanta. Okay, anumanta, the first meaning he is giving is anumodanam. Anumodanam means you do somebody, you do some activity, your boss he endorses it. He says, not approved. In the last class I told about that joke about a chief minister, not approved and then not approved. So like that he writes not approved. So somebody who approves what all you do is an Anumanta. In fact, there is a saying from Mahabharata, Karta Karayita Chaiva, Prerakascha Anumodakaha. Suppose there is an activity. In that activity, there is a doer. Then there is somebody who is, asking him to do. There may be somebody, there may not be somebody, but there can be somebody who is directing him to do that thing. And there is somebody who is approving it, endorsing it. Yes, well done. He may be not directly connected with these two people, but then he is an onlooker. But then at the same time, he says, yes, well done. Anumantacha. Then, Prerakasya Anumodak. Prerakaha. There is another person who is actively assisting him. Suppose you are doing something, he actively comes and assists. So there are four people. Karta, doer, Karayita. Karayita is somebody who is paying you money and then he is making you do that. Prerakaha, one who is coming and assisting you. Then Anumodakaha, though unconnected with you, he is still endorsing what you are doing. So all these peoples, Sukrute, Dushkrute Chaiva, Sattva, Chatvara, Sahabhaginaha, Samabhaginaha. All this, whether it is in Sukruta or Dushkruta, whether it is in a good deed or in a bad deed, all the four are Samabhaginaha. They get equal result. So when you are approving a good deed, so you are getting some punya. Suppose somebody he is doing a good deed. Instead of envying him, you endorse, okay, this man has done well, he has built a temple and then he is doing some good deed. So you endorse, so you will get some punya. So if somebody is doing a good deed, you are not supposed to envy him, not feel jealous of him. And if somebody is feeling a bad deed, you should also express your displeasure. So that is also, it is your dharma. It is your dharma to express some displeasure. So anyway, these four types of people, in these four types, there is Anumanta also. Anumanta means somebody who approves, and somebody who endorses the whole thing. So that Anumanta. Anumodanam Anumaranam Kurvatsu tat kriyasu paritoshaha. When those activities are being done, this man feels happy. Paritoshaha. He is happy about them. Paritoshaha. Tatkarta, paritoshaha, tatkarta, Anumanta. Paritosha, tatkarta means paritosha karta. He feels happy. So he is called Anumanta. Athava, or else, Anumanta, Karyakarana pravrittishu swayam pravrittuapi. Though this person, he is directly not engaged in any activity. Directly swayam apravrittaha. Directly not engaged in any activity. Pravritta iva tad anukulaha vibhavyate. And then he looks as though he is supporting it. Tad anukulaha vibhavyate. So the other man also takes into consideration that so and so X is supporting me. So tad anukula iva vibhavyate. So that is called Anumanta. Tena Anumanta. Then Athava. So one more point is being given. Pravrittan svavyapareshu tat sakshibhutaha kadachidapi na nivarayati ityanumanta. Or when somebody is doing an activity, pravrittan svavyapareshu, that means svavyapareshu pravrittan, those who are engaged in their activities, tat sakshibhutaha, this man is just watching them. And kadachidapi na nivarayati, he does not either say no or yes. So he does not say either no or yes. Na nivarayati means he does not say no to that. So he is called Anumanta, one who is watching and then who is endorsing that. So that is what is called Anumanta. Then we come to Bharta. Bharta means Bhru dhatu. Bhru means to bear, to sustain. Bharanam. So Bharta, Bharanam nama Dehendriya Manobuddhinam Samhatanam Chaitanyatma Pararthyena Nimitta Bhutena Chaitanya Bhasanam Yat Swarupa Dharanam Tat Chaitanyatma Krutameva iti Bharta Atma Ityuchyate. So what is the normal meaning of Bharta? Bharta is somebody who is a husband. One who husbands is called a husband. Isn't it? Husband is somebody who sustains. Bharta, bharati, iti bharta. Bharya is somebody who is sustained, who is supported. Bharta is a supporter, Bharya is supported. So that is the meaning. Bharanam nama. What is the meaning of bharanam? Bearing. What is that bearing? Dehendriya mano buddhinam samhatanam. All these deha, indriya, manas and buddhi, what are they? They are all assemblage. Samhata. Samhata means assembled. That assemblage is called, or assemblage or assembly is called sanghataha. We know that word sanghata. And sanghata is Sanghatasya pararthatvat. We saw one principle in Kathopanishad Bhashya also. We saw that Sanghatasya pararthatvat is not from Kathopanishad, it is from Sankhya Karika. But the reference we saw in Sangha, that reference to Sanghata we saw in Kathopanishad Bhashya. And Sanghata is something always parartham. Parartham means not swartham. Swartham means swa plus artha. We do work for ourselves. That is called swartha. I do something for myself. That is swartha. I do something for somebody else. That is parartha. Isn't it? And pararthasya bhavam is pararthyam. So to be in that state is pararthyam. So the word pararthya is used here. You see, where is it? Chaitanyatma pararthyena. So all this karyakarana sanghata is parartha. Parartha for whom? Chaitanyatma pararthya. This Chaitanyatma is the thing which is actually, enlivening or supporting the whole thing. So this Karyakarana Sanghata is functioning for the sake of that Chaitanyatma. So Chaitanyatma Pararthyena Nimitta Bhutena. Nimitta means Karanam, cause. Because of the fact that this whole Karyakarana Sanghata is meant to work for the Chaitanyatma. So it's slightly complex construction. Because of the fact that, you can note down also because the sentence is rather complex. Because of the reason that, not because of the fact, because of the reason. Because nimitta, the word nimitta is used. Because of the reason that the body-mind complex is intended for Atma. So, you see this, I'll read out the line again. Dehendriya manobuddhinam samhatanam chaitanyatma pararthyena nimitta bhutena means because of the fact that this body-mind complex is functioning for the sake of the chaitanyatma, then chaitanya bhasanam. So, these are again chaitanya abhasa. On their own, they don't have the chaitanya in them. There is only chaitanya which is reflected in them. We know that even antahkarana is a jada. Antahkarana is a jada, antahkarana, there is only a reflection of that chaitanyam in that. Antahkarana, there is a reflection, and this all the indriyas again, they are all inspired by this chaitanyam only. Otherwise, they on their own they are insentient. So that is why it is called chaitanya abhasanam. Yat swarupa dharanam. So this yat swarupa dharanam has to be connected to dehendriya mano buddhinam. So swarupa dharanam, you can note down also. This Swarupa Dharanam has to be connected to Dehendriya Manobuddhinam. So what is the sentence here? Dehendriya Manobuddhinam Swarupa Dharanam. That is, this Chaitanyam is looking as though it is taking the shape of this Deha, Indriya, Manas, Buddhi. That also you can note down. This Chaitanya is appearing as though Chaitanya is appearing as though it is taking the shape of Swarupa Dharanam. That is the meaning. Taking the shape of this body, mind, body, senses, mind and buddhi. So the sentence here is Bharanam Nama Dehendriya Manobuddhinam Yat Swarupa Dharanam. So it is that Chaitanyatma Krutameva. That Chaitanyatma only is capable of appearing like that. Chaitanyatma only is capable of enlivening all these things. So, yat swarupa dharanam. It is as though taking the shape of all these indriyas. So, when my eye is looking at something, it is the Chaitanya which has taken the shape of my eye. When my nose is smelling something, it is Chaitanya which has taken the shape of my nose. And when I am hearing something, it is the Chaitanya which has taken the shape of the sense of hearing. So like that, all these things, the Chaitanyam only, it is appearing as though it is taking the shape of all these things. So that is the point here. So yat Swarupadharanam tat Chaitanyatma Krutameva. So all this is because of the Chaitanyatma only. So that is why it is called Bharta. Bharta means that which bears, that which supports. It is Chaitanya which is supporting all these activities. So for that reason it is called Bharta. Then Bhokta, Agnyushnavat, Nitya Chaitanya Swarupena, Buddhehe Sukha Dukkha Mohatmaka Pratyayaha, Sarva Vishaya Vishayaha, Chaitanyatmagrasta iva Jayamanaha, Vibhaktaha Vibhavyante, Iti Bhokta Atma Uchyate. So Atma is also called Bhokta. For what? That is because Agnyushnavat Nitya Chaitanya Swarupena. So this Agnyushna analogy we know. Agnyushna, because Ayodahati, that word we have come across several times. So you take an iron ball, a hot iron ball, and then you say, oh, this hot iron ball is burning. It is not the iron ball which is burning, it is the Agni which is there in that burning. So likewise, Agnyushnavat Nitya Chaitanya Swarupena. This Nitya Chaitanya Swarupa is, the Nitya Chaitanyam is there, which is there reflecting in that buddhi, and then in that buddhi all the sukha, dukkha, moha, atmaka, pratyaya. Pratyaya means jnana. Pratyaya is a sensation, a jnana. Pratyaya, prati, the pratyaya. So pratyaya, that is jnanani. Sarva vishaya vishayaha, that is relating to all objects. All these pratyaya relating to all objects. All them, they are of the shape of sukha, dukkha, moha. Some objects give sukha, some objects give dukkha, and some objects you are in a state of delusion about them. So they Chaitanyatma grasta iva jayamanaha. They are looking as though they are all grasta. Grasta means, grasanam means grasa, to eat. Grasa actually means to eat. Grasta means as though they are eaten, as though they are swallowed, devoured. So, why are they called devoured? Why is he giving this metaphor of eating? That is, in this Chaitanya only, all these things are appearing and dying. All these sukha, dukkha, moha, pratyaya, all these jnanani, they are all appearing and disappearing in this Chaitanyatma, in this buddhi only. Chaitanyatma swarupena, buddhehe sukha, dukkha, mohatmaka, pratyaya, jayamanaha. Jayamana means they are being born and then they are also dying. Jayamanaha also implies they are also dying, isn't it? They are not only appearing, they are also not only being born, they are also dying, disappearing. So all these things, they are looking as though devoured by. They are all appearing in that buddhi, and because they are all appearing in the Chaitanya Swarupa buddhi, it is looking, they are all looking as though they are all devoured by that, they are all eaten by that. So it is just a metaphorical way. It is just a metaphorical way of saying that all these pratyayas, all our jnanani, they are all produced in that Chaitanyam, disappear in that Chaitanyam. So grasta iva. Then also vibhaktaha vibhavyante. Vibhaktaha as though divided. Vibhakta, they are as though looking very, very distinct. Sukha, a very distinct sensation. Dukkha, a very distinct sensation. Like that, all these sensations, they look very distinct. Then in all their diversity, distinctly they are seen. Vibhavyante means they are all known, they are all appearing like that. Iti bhokta iti uchyate. That is why it is called bhokta. Atma is called bhokta. Then Maheshwaraha. Maheshwaraha sarvatmatvat swatantratvacha Mahan Ishwarascha iti Maheshwaraha. So Maheshwara is something which is just away from all these things. Upadrashta, Anumanta, Bharta, Bhokta, they are all various degrees of engagement with the body-mind complex. So Maheshwara, when you come to Maheshwara, it is totally away from that. So the same Maheshwara, it is looking as though he is coming close to this body-mind complex and becoming a Upadrashta, etc., etc. So here, Sarvatmatvat, Swatantratvacha. This is something Sarvatmatvam. So not only in one jiva, but it appears in all jivas. Sarvatmatvam. It appears in all jivas. The same Chaitanya is getting reflected in all jivas. So that is why it is Sarvatma. Then Swatantra. We know this word Swatantra also. Of course, this has nothing to do. This is nothing to do with Vastu Tantra, Buddhi. Say what is that? Vastu Tantra and Buddhi Tantra, Kartru Tantra. Nothing to do with that. Swatantratvaj. This is something which is unconnected with anything, independent. Then Mahan Ishwarascha iti Maheshwaraha. The Vyutpatti for Maheshwara is Mahanscha Ishwarascha iti. Mahan Ishwarascha iti Maheshwaraha. Mahan plus Ishwara. Then Paramatma. Dehadinam Buddhyantanam Pratyagatmattvena Kalpitanam Avidyaya Paramaha Upadrashtutvadi Lakshanaha Atmeti Paramatma. So here again, why is he called Parama? Parama, we know, Parama means superior or supreme. With what reference? With reference to what? Dehadinam Buddhyantanam, Deha Adinam, starting with Deha, Buddhyantanam, ending with Buddhi. Deha, that is Deha, Indriya, mind and Buddhi. So in that order. Then Pratyagatmatvena Kalpitanam Avidyaya. Because of ignorance. Avidyaya Pratyagatmatvena Kalpitanam. So that is Anvaya. Avidyaya, because of ignorance, they are all treated as Pratyagatma. Somebody treats Deha as Pratyagatma and somebody treats Buddhi as Pratyagatma, etc. etc. So Sarva Pratyagatmatvena Kalpitanam, with reference to all that, Paramaha Upadrashtutvadi Lakshana. This is with reference to all these things. This is superior Upadrashtutvadi Lakshana. All these things like activities like Upadrashta, Bhokta, Manta, etc. etc. all these are supported by this Paramatma only. And then this Paramatma is something which is superior in the sense which is above all these things. Upadrashtutvadi Lakshana Atma iti Paramatma. Then so Saha Antaha Paramatma ityanena shabdena cha Api Uktaha Kathitaha Shrutau. Okay, in Shrutis, in all Shrutis, Saha Antah Paramatma ityanena shabdena cha Uktaha. So in all these Shrutis, it is also said to be Paramatma. And Paramatma, so that is how it is said in all these Shrutis. Then Kwa Asau. Kwa Asau means where is it? Where is this thing? Where is this thing called Atma? Where is this thing called? What do the Shrutis say? Where does it exist? About where it exists. Then Asmin Dehe Purushaha Paraha Avyaktat. So Dehesmin Purushashabha. Dehesmin Purushah Paraha. That is the last line. Dehe Asmin. That is in this Deha. In this Deha means not only in one Deha but in all the beings. Asmin Dehe Purushaha Paraha Avyaktat. So because Avyaktat Paraha, this is something which is beyond that Avyakta also. So we have been seeing this structure of say Pancha Tanmatras and then about Maya, and Maya is otherwise called Avyakta. Avyaktat Paraha, Paraha is that, Param is that Chaitanyam. So that is the structure referred to. Then Uttamah Purushastvanyaha Paramatmetyudahrutaha iti yo vakshyamanaha kshetrajñam chapi mam vidhi ityupanyastah vyakhyaya upasamhrutascha. So these two things, that is Uttamah Purushastu Anyaha. That is this is we are going to see in this 15th chapter. Uttamah Purushastvanyaha Paramatmetyudahrutaha. We are going to see this in say next 15th chapter. Paramatma iti udahrutaha. This Uttama Purusha, he is also called Paramatma. That Vakshyamanaha means that which is going to be told. It is going to be told in the 15th chapter. And then whatever has been already told, like Kshetrajñam chapi mam vidhi iti upanyastha. Upanyastha means what has already been told, what has already been presented. Iti vyakhyaya upasamhrutascha. That has been commented upon and that has been concluded. So this is about this drashta. This is about the sakshi, which illu means the kshetra. because of different degrees of involvement with this body-mind complex, the same Chaitanya is called, is referred to with so many names. It is called Upadrashta, it is called Anumanta, etc., etc. Then, next shloka, tam evam yathokta lakshanam atmanam. So the same atma, this atma, yathokta lakshanam is as described above, all the characters of which have been described above. Let us read the shloka. Ya evam vetti purusham prakrutim cha gunais saha sarvatha vartamanopi na sabhuyo bhijayate. Okay, ya evam, this is something like a phalashruti. So when you read a text, usually some phalashruti also told. So this is the result of this. So what is the result? Ya evam vetti purusham prakrutim cha gunais saha. So yaha, the one who evam vetti, knows in this manner what prakrutim cha purusham prakrutim cha gunais saha. Purusha is that purishete iti purushaha. Not we are not referring to the Shuddha Chaitanya here. We are referring to the Jiva Chaitanya, which is otherwise called Kshetrajna. In fact, the real nature or real Swarupa of Kshetrajna is nothing but Ishvara only. But this is something like the body-mind complex, etc., etc. He is called a Kshetrajna with reference to this body-mind complex. Though the real nature is, the real Swarupa is that of Brahman only. So prakrutim cha gunais saha. Prakrutim cha, this prakriti which is also associated with all these gunas. All these gunas, what are the gunas we have seen? Sukha dukkha mohatmakaha gunaha. We have not seen this sattva rajas tamo gunaha. The products of that sattva rajas tamo gunaha we have seen. Sukha dukkha mohatmakaha gunaha. Then sarvatha vartamanopi. So in whatever manner he is, sarvatha vartamanaha. Vartamanaha means conducting himself in a particular way. Vartamanaha, vartate we know. Saha vartate, he is there. Vartate, sa karyam kurvan vartate, piban vartate, khadan vartate. He is doing something, he is existing in that manner, he is living in that manner. Sarvatha vartamanaha means in whatever manner he lives. That means not that a jnani. We are now talking about somebody who is a jnani. We are now talking about not a theoretical jnani. We are talking about somebody who has got aparoksha atma sakshatkara. Somebody who has realized it. Somebody who has realized it as his own self. So such a person. We are not talking about a professor in the university who may be knowing this in a theoretical way. So this sarvatha vartamanopi refers to that gentleman. That aparoksha one who has got an aparoksha sakshatkara. So sarvatha vartamanopi means, it does not mean that this man will indulge in all types of say adharmic deeds. It is not, we should not take it that way. You see, even if a jnani, even when a person becomes a jnani, he may be doing all his say ashrama dharma. So suppose a gruhastha, you are there, you become a jnani. So you are still doing your gruhastha ashrama dharma. You are still doing your nitya karma, naimittika karma. You are doing all other activities which a gruhastha is supposed to do. So long as you are in this particular ashrama, you are supposed to do all those dharmas. It is only when you renounce, totally become a sannyasi, then you can give up all these things. Then sannyasi also has got some sannyasa dharmas. Then there is another thing called avadhuta charya. Avadhuta, that is the highest level. This word also I have told sometimes. Avadhuta, vidhunane, that is to get rid of everything, just to shake off everything. It is as though you take a shirt and then just, what is the English word for that? You just beat it like this. So it is called vidhunanam. You just shake off all the dust which is there on that. So it is called vidhunanam. So that is somebody who has just shaken off all the things which are there from this world. So he is an avadhuta. So he may not do sandhya vandana. Sarvatha Vartamanopi does not refer to any illegal activities or immoral activities. It's not referring to immoral activities. Not as though the fellow will go to some criminal den and then takes part in that criminal activities. It's not like that. Sarvatha Vartamanaha means though he is not doing his normal ashrama, varnashrama dharma, though he is not in that dharma, say like somebody, he is not doing Sandhya Vandana, he is not doing Devatarchana, he is not doing something else, and then because he is an Ativarnashrami, he goes beyond all that say Varnashrama dharmas. So that sort of thing. Vartamanaha api na sa bhuyaha abhijayate. Saha, that person, bhuyaha means again, na abhijayate, does not take birth. Bhuyaha is again, na abhijayate, he does not take birth. So this is what we have seen in several Shrutis. A Jnani has no rebirth. That is what will happen. Rebirth means what is rebirth? Rebirth is some Linga Sharira which is going and which is taking up another body. Linga Sharira means this say leaving apart the body. Say this prana, pancha pranani, then mind, mano buddhi, that complex. So mano buddhi complex, and also your vasanas, all the accumulated karma vasanas are there. All those things, that is the baggage. So because of these vasanas, a person takes the body in accordance with that vasanas, isn't it? So all this thing, that baggage is destroyed. In the case of a jnani, that baggage is no longer there. All the vasanas are destroyed. So that linga sharira, there is no purpose for it to take birth. Because of the vasanas, because of the accumulated karmas, it is supposed to take birth, isn't it? So when all that vasana is no longer there, what will happen to that linga sharira? So we have seen earlier in Kathopanishad, etc., that this will resolve into this tanmatras. The pranas will resolve into this akasha, and then this vayu, and then all these these indriyas, they resolve back into this tanmatras. So it is something like a disintegration. Not exactly disintegration, it is called resolution. It just resolves, means that is getting back into their original source. So that is what happens to his body, mind, not body, this mind complex, and also this pranas. Because that baggage of vasana, baggage of karma is not there. So that is why it is called nasa bhuyo bhijayate. He does not take birth again. Then let us see the bhashyam. Ya evam yathokta prakarena वेत्ति पुरुषं साक्षात् आत्मभावेन अयम् अहमिति पुरुषं साक्षात् आत्मभावेन अयम् अहमिति प्रकृतिं च यथोक्ताम् अविद्यालक्षणां गुणैः स्वविकारैः सह निवर्तिताम् अभावम् आपादितां विद्यया सर्वथा सर्वप्रकारेण वर्तमानः अपि स भूयः पुनः पतितेऽस्मिन् विद्वच्छरीरे देहान्तराय न अभिजायते नोत्पद्यते देहांतरम न गृह्णाति इत्यर्थः. Okay, so a person who knows means who realizes this, who aparokshataya, that is, who assimilates this, and then who feels it, who feels that he is nothing different from Brahma. Atma bhavena, I am aham, I am that Atma. The person who realizes that I am that Atma, then prakrutim cha yathoktam avidyalakshanam. This prakriti, he distances himself from that prakriti. This jnani is somebody who distances himself from that prakriti. All the activities of the body mind complex, he becomes a mere drashta. Guna guneshu vartante, pashyan, shrunvan, sprushan, jighran. So whatever activity he does, he becomes a drashta only. He is not involved in them. That is why gunaihi swavikaraihi saha. Vikara means modification. What are the modifications? Sukha, dukkha, mohatmaka modifications. With all these things, then nivartitam abhavam apaditam vidyaya. That is vidyaya nivartitam. The connection is Nivartitam abhavamapannayam vidyaya. We have to take this vidyaya to the front. Vidyaya nivartitam. All these things, prakrutim vidyaya nivartitam. That is the anvaya. This prakriti is something which has been nivartita, means that has been negated. That has been negated by what? Vidyaya. By proper knowledge, by samyak jnana. By samyak jnana, this prakriti has been negated. So this is again called, we have come across a word called Badha Samanadhikaranyam. Samanadhikaranyam. When you say that Kshetrajna is Ishvara, that is called Mukhya Samanadhikaranyam. That is, this Chaitanya is there. It is the Chaitanya component which is there. That this Brahman also, Brahma Chaitanya is one and the same. That is Samanadhikaranyam. Samanadhikaranyam is two things which are told in the same vibhakti. Prathama vibhakti. Say both the things are told in one vibhakti. That is Samana Adhikarana. Samana Adhikarana is the same, expressing two things in the same vibhakti. So here there is another thing called Badha Samana Adhikarana. Prapancha gets negated. Negated means what? There, you see, you have been seeing a snake on a rope. Then you suddenly realize that, yes, Sarpaha Sarajuhu. Whatever I was thinking as Sarpa, it is really Raju. Yes, Sarpaha Sarajuhu. Which means that Sarpa is gone. Sarpa is negated by your knowledge. So that is Badha. Badha means negation. Badha is rejection, negation. So after doing that Badha, then what do you see? You see Brahma only in that Raju. Raju unfortunately is such a ordinary thing. It is compared to Brahma. We always take the example of Raju in order to explain Brahma. Anyway, that Raju is what is called Brahma. So this whatever, yes, Sarpaha Rajureva. Whatever I was thinking as Sarpa is only Raju. So that is what is Badha Samana Adhikaranya. So a Jnani, he realizes that all this universe, what all I see is nothing but Brahman. What all he sees, this also we have seen earlier. What is that? Shunichaiva Shvapakesha Pandita Samabuddhaya. That is Sama, Samam, Sama, the word Sama, the meaning of Sama there we saw it as Brahma. So whatever he sees, he looks at everything as Brahman only. So that is Badha Samanadhikaranyam. So here, avidyaya nivartitam abhavam apannam. Abhava apaditam. Abhava means non-existence. For this jnani, the world does not exist. Not that world disappears totally. World is very much there. But from his point of view, he is not looking at it as the world. He is looking at it as Brahman. So that is why it is abhavam apadita. Prakritihi abhavam apadita. Prakriti is Strilingam. So that is why nivartitam abhavam apaditam. So that is it. So this Prakriti becomes irrelevant for him. Prakriti becomes non-existent for him. Abhava means non-existent. Prakriti becomes non-existent for him because of Vidya, because of Samyak Jnana. Then Sarvatha Sarva Prakarena Vartamanopi. In whatever manner he is. He may be doing Sandhyavandan, he may not be doing Sandhyavandan. Sarvatha Vartamanopi. Sa bhuyaha punaha. Bhuyaha means again punaha. Patitesmin vidvat sharire. Asmin vidvat sharire patite sati. So when this body falls, what type of body? Vidvat Sharira. Vidvat Sharira means the Sharira of a Vidwan. Vidwan means a Jnani. This Sharira of a Jnani, when it falls also, Dehantaraya na abhijayate notpadyate. For another Deha. Dehantaram means another body. Dehantara means another body. Dehantaraya na abhijayate. It doesn't go, it does not take up another body, because there is no baggage of karma. It is only when there is a luggage the postman goes. When there is no luggage the postman does not go. So that is, you can take it as like that. When there is something to be delivered, he will deliver. When there is nothing, he will sit quietly. So like that. Ityabhiprayaha. Then Dehantaram na grunhati. That means he does not take another body. Then Apishabdat Kimu Vaktavyam Svavruttasthaha Na jayate ityabhiprayaha. So we have seen this word, the third line in this shloka, Sarvatha Vartamanopi. Even if the man is engaged in all types of activities, even if. So, but that word, even if, what is it signifying? Api Shabdat, that what is the significance of that Api Shabda? Then Api Shabda means that is, say you are saying whatever he does, even if he is indulging in all types of activities, he does not take up another birth. Suppose a person is leading a righteous life, like you said about the teacher in Mumbai who is leading a very, very righteous life. So what to talk of that man? He will definitely not take another birth. So it is like that. So definitely, you see a jnani, in whatever manner he stays, he will not take up birth. So a jnani, suppose he is sticking on to his code of conduct, he is sticking on to his ashrama dharma, and then he is very strictly doing anusthana for the sake of others. Not that he really, literally, he is a slave to that. He is not a slave to that. He is doing it to be a role model for others, for loka sangraha. So when such a man is doing that, what to say? What to say that this man will not be born again? So that is the meaning here. Kimu vaktavyam. Kimu vaktavyam means what to say. Then where is that line? Api Shabdat. Kimu vaktavyam. Svavruttasthaha. Svavruttasthaha means one who is staying in his own vrutta. Vrutta means character. Svavruttasthaha. Vrutta, not vrutti here. Svavruttasthaha. Svavrutte sthitaha. One who is in his own, what is enjoined on him. Whatever activity or whatever duty is enjoined on him. Somebody who is performing that duty. What to talk of such a man? Na jayate iti kimu vaktavyam. What to say? Where is the need to say? In other words, where is the need to say that this man will not take up another birth? Then here there is a small discussion about this, say, karma. Whether how is this karma going to be neutralized? So there is a discussion. Nanu yadyapi jnanotpatyanantaram punarjanma bhavaha uktaha तथापि प्राज्ञानोत्पत्तेः कृतानां कर्मणां उत्तरकालभाविनां च यानि च अतिक्रान्तानि अनेकजन्म कृतानि तेषां फलमदत्वा नाशः न युक्तः इति स्युः त्रीणि जन्मानि कृत विप्रणाशो हि न युक्तः इति. Okay, so we know that word, what is called kruta vipranasha, kruta pranasha, krutabhyagama. We know that word. Anything wrong? Kruta pranasha means, suppose you do something and then that activity you just do not say reap the consequence, you do not enjoy the result, or you don't get the consequence of it. That is kruta pranasha. That will never happen. Whatever action you do, you get the result, isn't it? Unless you do it as a say what is that karma yoga. If you are doing it as a karma yoga, you will not get the result. But for a normal man, whatever a person does, he gets the result for that. Good deed, he gets a good result. Bad deed, he gets a bad result. So suppose you do lot many good deeds, or you do lot many bad deeds, and you don't get the result of it. So that is what is called kruta pranasha. That we can't accept. Kruta pranasha, whatever you have done, it has evaporated. Pranasha means that has just disappeared. Nasha, nashi adarshane. Adarshane means that becomes, it disappears. Whatever you do, it does not yield result. It does not yield, it becomes, it does not give any fruit. So that situation is not accepted in Vedanta. So akruta bhyagama also is not accepted. Whatever you have not done, that result also will not come to you. Whatever you have done, the result will come. That's all. So kruta pranasha and akruta bhyagama is not accepted. So that is being referred to here. So the Purvapakshi says, Yadyapi jnanotpatyanantaram purvajanma bhavaha uktaha. Okay, we agree that jnanotpatyanantaram, okay, you say that after a person becomes a jnani, there is no punarjanma, you say. But then, prajnanotpatteh krutani karma, there are three types of karmas he is referring to. One is prajnanotpatteh krutanam karmanam. That is all those karmas which were done prior to jnanotpatti. It may be in this life or in some other earlier lives. That is, all karmas which were done earlier, prior to jnanotpatti, either in this life or in previous lives. Then, uttarakala bhavinam cha. Uttarakala bhavinam cha means jnanottarakala bhavinam. That is, after you attain jnana, you also do some karmas. So this is the second type of karma. Then the third type of karma is Yanicha Atikranta Aneka Janma Krutani. Oh, this is Aneka previous Janmas. He is referring to this in the third option. Atikranta. Atikranta means past. Whatever is past. Aneka Janma Krutani. All the karmas which were done in previous years. So three types of karmas are told here. In this life, whatever you have done prior to knowledge. In this life, what you are going to do after knowledge. And in whatever earlier lives you have done. So these three types of karmas are there. So how can they have to give their fruit. Tesham phalam adatva nashaha na yuktaha. It is not proper to say that all those are going to be nullified without giving any result. Phalam adatva means not giving result, by not giving its fruit. Adatva nashaha. They get nullified. It is not proper. Iti Sihu Trini Janmani. Sihu means there will be. We have to say hope, not hope. We have to expect that there are three janmas. It is Sihu. Syat, you know that Syat. Syat means yes, it will be like that. Syat, Syatam, Sihu. So that Sihu, you know that word. Sihu means Sihu Trini Janmani. Three janmas will be there. So that is the thing. Trini Janmani Sihu. Kruta Vipranashaha na yuktaha. So it is not proper to say that whatever you have done is just disappearing, not giving any result. Then Yatha Phale Pravrittanam Arabdha Janmanam Karmanam.
Phale Pravrittanam Arabdha Janmanam Karmanam.
So Arabdha Janmanam Karmanam. Then you see now Phale Arabdha Janmanam Karmanam. You see, in this life some karma has started giving its fruit. That is going on. So just as this karma is not nullified, some karma has started. Some karma, not karma, karma phala. Some karma phala has started, it started giving its result. And then it is going on. So just as this is not getting negated, similarly all other things also cannot get negated. So that is what he says. There are two types of things which we have to see. One is a karma phala which has started giving the result, and all others which have not started giving result. So in that manner. So here, just as something which has started giving its result cannot be nullified, similarly other things also cannot be nullified or neutralized. So that is what he says. Nacha karmanam visheshaha avagamyate. So you can't say that this is something unique and they are something unique. Karmana Vishesha. Vishesha means something which is distinct. How can you make a distinction between this and that? Na karmanam Vishesha. That means there is no distinction between this and that. Of course, Shankaracharya is going to make a distinction. So that is why Purvapakshi is saying there is no distinction. So Shankaracharya says there is a distinction. So that is why this word. Nacha karmanam Vishesha avagamite means there is no speciality. There is no speciality, there is no distinction in other karmas. Then Tasmat Triprakaranyapि karmani Trini janmani arabhyeran. What is this? Asamhataniva. Is it asamhataniva? 1 minute. Arabhyeran samhataniva. Yeah. Samhataniva. Sarvani ekam janma. Arabheran. So initially he said there will be 3 lives. So now he says all these 3 types of karmas, either they have to produce 3 janmas or 1 janma, samhataniva, or sarvani ekam janma. All put together they have to at least start 1 janma. So something like a bargaining he is doing. See, all these 3 prakarani karmani api, the 3 janmani arabhyeran samhatani. All these things arabhyeran, there we have to stop. That is, they have to cause 3 say janmas, or samhatani va sarvani ekam janma arabheran. All these things put together, samhatani, that is all these things put together, ekam janma arabheran. All these things put together will commence or will go to the making of 1 janma. So this is what Purvapakshi says. Anyatha kruta vinashe sati sarvatra anashvasa prasangaha shastranarthakyam cha syad
शास्त्रानर्थक्यं
च स्यात् इत्यतः इदम् अयुक्तमुक्तं
इदम् अयुक्तमुक्तं
न स भूयोऽभिजायते इति.
न स भूयोऽभिजायते इति.
So every time we threaten saying that there will be Shastra Anarthakyam, the Purvapaksha will threaten saying that there is a Shastra Anarthakyam. So if you say that this Kruta Pranasha, some activity is done, some karma is done and it will not give result, so then you will not believe in everything, in anything. You see, suppose you do anything and then you go scot-free. You do, say, Bara Khoon Maaf. There is a Hyderabadi saying which says, Bara Khoon Maaf. You do 12 khoon, you kill 12 people and then everything is Maaf. So when you say like that, where is the belief, where is the faith in the law and order system or criminal justice system? There is no faith in the criminal justice system, isn't it? Suppose you say, okay, I am going to withdraw all the cases against all these people. Suppose somebody says like that, which our people are saying actually. So if you say like that, what faith will an ordinary man have in the criminal justice system? So like that is what he says. So anyatha kruta vinashe sati, when somebody is doing a wrong thing and then if you are pardoning him, sarvatra anashvasa prasangaha. Anashvasa means lack of faith, lack of credibility in the whole system. So the system will, after all any system, here we are talking about a dharma system. This dharma system, people will lose faith in this. So that is it. Ashvasa means faith, trust. So sarvatra anashvasa prasangaha. There will be lack of trust, lack of faith in all these things. Then shastranarthakyam cha syat. All this Shastra, Dharma Shastra will become futile. Ityataha, therefore, idam ayukta muktam nasa bhuyo bhijayate. So this statement by Lord Krishna that nasa bhuyo bhijayate is something which is inappropriate in my view. So that is what this Purvapaksha is saying. So then Siddhanti says, na. Kshiyante chasya karmani.
क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि
ब्रह्मवेद ब्रह्मैव भवति तस्य तावदेव चिरम् ईशिकातूलवत् सर्वकर्माणि प्रदूयन्ते इत्यादि श्रुतिशतेभ्यः उक्तः विदुषः सर्वकर्मदाहः. So vidushah means of the Vidwan. Vidushaha is Shashti Vibhakti. Vidushaha Sarva Karma Dahaha. Daha means, Daha is not thirst. In Telugu we use the word Daha in a wrong way. Daha Mautundi we say. Daha does not mean, literally means there is a burning inside me. Daham literally means there is a burning. Daha dhatu, dahati means that it burns. Sarva karma dahaha means all karmas get burned. They get burnt. All karmas they get burnt. They turn into ashes. So daha, we should not say daha, we should say trushna or pipasa, something like that. So vidushaha sarva karma dahaha uktaha, where that is for a jnani, all karmas get destroyed, get burnt, get turned into ashes. How? Where are they told? Then you see, Kshiyante chasya karmani. This is a line from Mundakopanishad. Kshiyante chasya karmani tasmin drushte paravare. That is, when the person realizes that paravara, we know that word paravara, para and avara, paravare. Of course, it is say explained in two ways. The simple way is, param is that supreme Brahma, aparam is that conditioned Brahma. Conditioned Brahma and unconditioned Brahma, one who knows the whole tattvam of Nirguna Brahma and Saguna Brahma, one who knows that. So tasmin dushte paravare, when a jnani realizes that, asya karmani kshiyante, all the karmas of that person kshiyante, they just disappear, kshiyante, they just go away. Then Brahmaveda Brahmaiva bhavati, this is also from Mundakopanishad. So one who knows Brahman becomes Brahma. Then tasya tavadeva chiram. So that is, his life is only up to that point. Tavadeva chiram. Yavanna vimokshya. That is, just realization is the only thing which is waiting for him. From that time, nothing else is there. Once there is a realization, we saw in Kenopanishad, realization is something like a flash of lightning we saw. Vidyuto vyadyutat. So not that it suddenly comes like a flash of lightning. there is a lot of background activity, that is Shravana Manana Nididhyasana. But then realization, it happens like that. And once it happens like that, it is like seeing that Rajju snake, Rajju Sarpa. So that Sarpa disappears and then suddenly you see the rope only. So it is like that. So Tasya Tavadeva Chiram, it is only up to that point. Then Ishika Tulavat Sarvani Karmani Praduyante. Ishika Tula. Ishika means it is something like a cotton, let us say. So there is some cotton, Ishika is something like a stalk. The stalk of if you have seen a cotton plant, that cotton, that bud if you take, that is something like a Ishika Tula. Tula means actually cotton. Tula actually means cotton. So weightless. So lightweight rather. Ishika Tulavat Sarvani Karmani Praduyante. All those things they just blown away. All those karmas they get blown away. Like this weightless cotton. Then Ityadi Shruti Shatebhya. Like this, hundreds of Shrutis. Shruti Shatebhya, hundreds of Shrutis. Uktaha Vidushaha Karma Sarva Karma Daha. The fact that for a Vidwan, for a Jnani, all these karmas they get destroyed has been told in hundreds of Shrutis. So the time is over, so we will continue in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.